We're facing some real adversity in our industry. A seemingly endless stream of complications have impacted every area of the supply chain. And just when we think we're nearing the edge of the woods, here comes the Omicron variant, casting yet another shadow of uncertainty over us all. Never before has the world been in such dire need of thought leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. This community is a powerful force for change. Collectively, we shoulder the responsibility of reaching the goals set forth by WFA, then to achieve a more diverse, inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous future. To all of you, thank you again for joining us and choosing to be a part of the solution.
The bottom line of all this is diversity. It's diversity not just in the sense of gender, but I firmly believe from working many years in the field that we need a diversity of players. We need big companies, we need small companies. I think we need more young women entrepreneurs in the fields of information science, in food, and in agriculture.
You know, that constantly changed as far as how long we thought the pandemic would last or end. And, you know, we're all still going through that. You know, there were times we just had no sleep. We weren't sure how many workers were going to show up, but we were essential workers. We were told we have to work, we have to feed our city and state. And it was a challenge because you had to deal with people's lives and the health and safety of the workers.
Given the dynamism that these companies have in the sector where we are working, it opens up opportunities for career paths that are tremendous.
I want an environment where I can feel that I'm heard and respected, that my ideas are heard and respected. I want a space where I feel that I can contribute to something bigger than me. I want a space where I feel that it's collaborative and that people are there to support one another inside the company and certainly the partners that we work with. A place that I can make a difference and a place that I can really feel that I can contribute.
What are we doing as a company? You could say we produce food products, but I think it's much, much more. We are part of families, we are part of the life and the lifestyles of the people. We have touch points to millions of consumers. And we think nowadays it's important that you have a purpose. We have heard that already from the panel. As a company, you bring that purpose to the people, to the consumers, through the products. And in the same way, you live it internally in the company.
So when I reflect a bit on my own journey, I have 3 points how to create and stay in this power from within. My first point is being true to yourself. Follow your instinct. Follow what's really important for you. In my case, it started with science and the environment and nature. It added on with people. It added on with sustainability and emerging and advancing women's career. Yours might be entirely different, what truly motivates you, what truly is in your inner core, but really trust what is in you. And my second point is about curiosity. This world is such an interesting place. There's so many things to discover, so many things to learn about. So this open and curious mindset, try to harness that as long as possible. Don't get tired, don't get cynical. Really go out with open eyes and try to discover the world. And my last point is, step up, speak up, really grab it, take whatever it takes to make an impact, to change something. And when you do that, when you speak up, when you grab these opportunities, I believe that gives you a true feeling for how powerful you are and we are all in ourselves.
Do you believe that women don't have space and support enough to share our bold ideas to build innovation?
It's hard to generalize, of course, and I did generalize, but I find that there is a combination of factors that make that women don't always take the space that might be given to them. That may be in part their own family education, but also institutions where they train don't always take women seriously, or take them perhaps seriously, but not enough, particularly not in the entrepreneurial area.
To what degree did your business prioritize diversity and inclusion, and how has that changed over the last 18 months during the pandemic?
Women are doing amazing. Okay, so in our company alone, I used to be the only woman, and now it's going to be 50% soon, which I'm very proud of. But at the end of the day, it is about hiring the best person for the job. But women have really come to the forefront and have proven themselves that they are capable of so much.
What kind of initiatives and innovations are young employees bringing to your company?
People want the opportunity to be able to explore openly, freely, and to be challenged consistently rather than put in a job class, I do this and then I do that. And then the other thing that's interesting, that's kind of a new trend that's out there, is what we call net positive. Purpose is one thing, but they also want to be with a company that's as much dedicated to giving back as much as they are of making. So it's not just about money, it's about that money and how are you making the world a better place as a result of that. So we call it the net positive.
Oftentimes, women are far less likely to speak up in a meeting where they are present when there are men speaking. They may be less likely to interrupt or interject with their ideas, their thoughts, and what comes to mind. How can you create space for women in those places and ensure that they participate at the level where they're providing the most value and fully utilizing their skills and talent?
I think the first thing really is to establish trust, and it is to really, go deep in terms of where is it that women are uncomfortable, because definitely it is something that we are also challenged with in an ISS context. But I think you get good traction when you have the honest conversation, and that's about really understanding where is it that things are getting uncomfortable. And once you start to have that conversation, you will find out that there's not a generic recipe. It's individual. And it's to unlock that. I think that is super important.
But I'm really interested to hear how each of your respective brands and you personally strategize around ensuring that there isn't a gender pay gap in your roles and in your industries and in your companies.
First of all, I think this is an important topic, as you said. And we know that many governments are now making gender pay gap reporting compulsory and mandatory. They started it. You have the UK, you have Germany, so many countries are doing it. I mean, it's not where it needs to be, but we're making good progress around it. I think that's the starting point. I think we need to do it across the world, more mandatory. But from a company perspective, what we do is that every year, we actually look at gender pay gap. We look at data, because the starting point is to have data. You need to have data, you need to have facts, and we look at data and we present it to the board. So every year we present to the board what the gender pay gaps are in some of our countries and territories. And on the basis of that, we have an action plan to, if there's a gap, to actually, ensure that we are, reducing the gap.
I'm proud to say that here in Yara, we have already reduced, just in production, 45% of the total carbon footprint since 2005. So it's a journey that started long ago, and we will continue, and we are in our way to do that.
But when you think about the amount of innovation that's possible here, there are things and ways of processing food that we've been doing it the same way for hundreds of years. And with the technology that we have, there's an opportunity to truly innovate.
And I feel very strongly that all of us, as we sit here, male and female, we need to do something about this. We need to promote young women. We need to get special funds, not just for their studies, but also to start companies, to start small companies, because I believe that the resilience of our food system, the whole food chain, is in the combination of small and big, as diverse as possible.
To all women that have a dream, remember that the world will say no to you in 100 different ways. Your job is to keep saying yes to yourself and to know you have other women supporting you along the way.